You're listening to REIA Radio, the nationally trusted name in real estate investing. We dig deep to discover investors' why in real estate. If you want to skip all the BS and get in investors' heads, you're in the right spot. Be one of the thousands to check out REIARadio.com. Welcome to REIA Radio, episode 295. This is the Real Estate Rundown with Owen, Dashner, and Kaasch. It's weird when you kind of...
And Aiden Bear.
It's weird when you kind of mouth in it, you know?
I did, yeah.
I
was gonna go, what do they call it? Duet style, but you looked so powerful there. I didn't want to.
We usually don't mess with my intro.
No, I know. I thought I'd throw you off a little bit.
You did throw me off a
Anyway,
little bit.
what's up, Ted?
You came in limping. I want to know what's up with you.
Oh, man. I didn't want to tell that story.
Really?
Yeah. It was a weird time. It was a weird time over the weekend.
You don't need all the specifics, but what the hell happened to your leg? I really don't know. I've been waiting for
Okay,
this
all right. Fine, I'll tell it. So I go on this golf trip to Phoenix, Arizona, and I go with 7 friends. And we've done this trip for years and years and years, probably 17 years. One of the guys that went on the trip, we'll leave him nameless. I really want to say his name, though. But it was my college roommate.
Okay.
He was in my wedding. I was in his wedding.
Yeah, you talked about him before.
Yep. So we go on this trip, and it's the last night, Saturday night, and we're out a little bit late. We go to a restaurant, and we go to a bar, and then come back, and we're talking and messing around, catching up, telling old stories, all that stuff. And you
created a new story.
Yes, that is for sure. Okay, I played baseball in college with him, and we would have these long bus rides to Oklahoma for our spring trip. And we would always jack around on the bus, and like wrestling matches would break out. You try to get the other guy to submit, you know. And so he and I used to wrestle, and like he weighed probably about 180, 190 at the time, and I was probably rolling around about 170, 175. And he's 6'4", okay? And he's pretty strong. Yeah. And so, but the last time we wrestled, I had this, I don't give up easily.
Yeah.
And he had his finger shoved all the way up under my jaw into like the hurty parts.
Yeah.
You know, in your throat basically. And I have a hold of his, the back of his leg, just doing a cow bite, like as hard as I possibly can. Finally, anyway, he ended up tapping out. Years go by. Go on this trip. We come home from the bar. We're in the bourbon a little bit. He's like telling a story, and then he kind of slaps my shoulder. So I like hit him back. Then he shoves me and I shove him back, and it's all friendly. We're not mad at each other or anything. Then it's on. By the way, the other 6 guys are all asleep at this point. It's 1 a.m. And so it ends up being a full blown wrestling match, which is in the middle of this really sweet Airbnb that has like polished concrete floors. This comes into play in a second. So like I'm trying to spin him around. I like kind of throw him in the wall a little bit, and we're kind of grappling. I'm holding my own pretty well. And then, I kind of get moved around, and he's got a hold of me. And then all of a sudden I slip, and both my legs go out like Jean-Claude Van Damme on the ground. By the way, I'm 51, guys. And he doesn't realize, he just knows I went down. He doesn't realize because he's like kind of like off behind me. And then he starts like shoving down on my back, like I'm a folding chair, and all of a sudden my left hamstring pops, and I'm like, my legs don't bend that way. I remember saying that distinctly. And by this time the guys are like, what the hell is going on? So they're like looking down at us from the balcony. And anyway, so I get done with that. That ended that whole match. So evidently he's been harboring some resentment about my last victory on the Southwestern Community College bus, and over 30 years now. And now I paid the piper. By the way, he weighs more like 280 now. And it's still 6'4". So
like my size.
I gave it my best. I didn't have it that night, and now I have a grade 2, almost 3 hamstring tear that is, my whole leg is purple.
Yeah, you can't walk very well.
No. So that kind of derailed my golf plans.
We used to, every time I used to get together with my old high school buddies, we always had a wrestling match of some sort, like WWE style. Mm-hmm. We've had broken picture frames on our heads and stuff like that.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
And last time we were in Vegas all together, that went down and broke the bed frame all the way down to the ground.
Oh my God.
We got video of it. I'll show it to you sometime.
So anyway, I get home, tell the story, to my wife, and she's just like, I've been gone 5 days. Yes. So she's running my daughter. My daughter's in 3 sports right now. So she's running around everywhere and
you got
all this. And I can't even move, So I'm like completely worthless 2 days after the trip. And I was sick. So I was just like, I'm finally better and kind of hobbling around now. But yeah, not my finest hour, but a good story nonetheless. It's all for REIA Radio.
You missed a fun REIA event too. We had Andrew Devlin in.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, and great event, great speaker. But yeah, we'll definitely do a replay of that in the future.
Yeah, for sure.
But speaking of replays, though, we have Fernando Angelucci.
I know, man.
On the replay,
like I've said, he's my top 5.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's coming up. So
it'll be on Wednesday's episode 296.
Mm-hmm.
And we said we had Fernando come to Omaha, do a quick little hour and a half teaser to prep people for his June 24th REIA Mastery Series 6-hour event that we're going to be doing.
Deep dive into self-storage, all things self-storage.
Yes.
The Storage Stud is his handle on Instagram. Check him out. You'll love the episode that he gave. Also, we've had him on the air in person, and now he's coming back for the granddaddy of all presentations.
Yeah, really excited about it. He actually has a whole presentation. He's been excited about this too.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what he says and what he has to do. And if you're looking to get in storage, please come to Omaha, Nebraska, and check out this event we have going on.
Yeah, for sure.
REIAMasterySeries.com for tickets.
So you know how I was saying last week that I was excited because I had a property closing, got the roof paid for, and got like the Fifth Ave apartments. I finally got under contract. Like good days, right?
Yeah.
It's Friday. Usually not great news days. So I had this. So I had a couple things happen
this morning.
Well, yes, in and around this morning. So I bought a mixed use building. And we've been trying to get the commercial bay leased, right? And it's a pretty big space, like 3,500 square feet. I didn't really think much of this when it happened, but I got a call, so we've owned it for, 6-7 months, something like that. And I got a call from the insurance company that it's with, and they're like, hey, we need to just do an inspection of the property for our files and whatever. And I'm like, okay, no big deal. Here's my property manager. Go do your thing. A little while goes by, I forget about it. And then I get a call or a letter, and they're like, so you have 3 electrical panels that are Pushmatic, and they are a
Federal Pacific boxes.
No. Federal Pacific is the stab lock. They're
stab
different.
locks. I'm sorry,
it's a different brand.
Yes,
but
I know what you're talking about.
Equally as apparently as repulsive to insurance companies.
Yes.
So I have to replace 3 electrical panels. I don't know what the price tag on that's going to be. And then
in a commercial building.
Yes.
I'm sure that's me.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Actually, this is last night, so we'll call it this morning because I just approved it. But we have $18,000 worth of elevator repairs that we're going to be having to do in a building that we just paid $275,000 for a big chunk of the elevator. So we could have repaired it, or we could have paid $500,000, $500,000 or $600,000 for a new one.
Mm-hmm.
So we kept the old one, did the repairs, get it functional, but it turns out there's a whole bunch more. So it's just like whack-a-mole with these things. Elevators, dude, don't ever buy a building with elevators.
Yeah. This isn't my business plan right
Unless they're the kind like if you're in a mortuary, they have those dumb waiters. You can lower the body down on them. You roll them in. I think maybe that's my next move. Is just dumb waiters. Yeah, emphasis on dumb.
At least you have business partners in these,
right? Yes, that's true.
Because you're not forking the whole bill over.
Oh, right. That's a good point. Yeah, but anyway, so that, and then
is the 18,000 on this particular one? Is that all your cut?
No, it's split 3 ways.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes it feel a little better.
Yeah. It's great. But anyway, so that, and then I wanted to tell you something that I'm working on that is it's kind of complicated. I mentioned this. We're in full on lease up mode for our Branson, Missouri property, right? So it's a big hotel. We converted it into apartments, and now 3 buildings are being leased up. Then we have 2 more buildings finishing at the end of April. But the problem is, there's all these people that come from out of town that are on H-2B visas. They're like 10-month visas or for like lower paying jobs. So hospitality, a lot of them, basically working in tourism, joints.
Yeah.
And so you have these employers that hire them, and they come in waves. So there's like wave A, B, and C, and they arrive at different times. So they have these huge waves of them that come in, and they generally all want these employers will try to place them at a place for where they can come pick them up on a bus, take them all to wherever the jobs are, and then they don't have to have their own transportation. Just makes it really easy for everybody.
So shorter lease.
Yes, 10-month lease. Yeah, which sucks because then you're like, okay, what do I? Can we make it up by charging more because it's shorter lease? There's all those things. So big problem, like a algorithm you got to figure out with this. So we got our property manager reached out to this company that does like cleaning. So they do like hospitality stuff, and they have workers that are coming in from, I think, Honduras or Philippines or somewhere. And they need a block of room. So long story short, we leased 8 units to them for 16 workers. So they're all going to double up and live in these, studio to 1-bedroom apartments.
But they're going to put the furniture in them.
Yes. We don't have to pay for the furnishing or worry about any of that. And they're going to, it's going to be leased through the end of December, right? So at least it solves the short-term problem, which is lease up, because, meanwhile, you're hemorrhaging cash when you have all these vacancies. So I talked to this other group that has 60 workers coming in, and they need 30 apartments. And I'm like, man, this would be great. We can knock out 30 of them, right? And I'm like, it'd be even better if we could use one of the back 2 buildings that are supposed to finish at the end of April. I thought they were finishing more toward the beginning of April. And then, because even after they finish, there's always punch list stuff. You have to go get the city inspection to get your certificate of occupancy and all those things, right? They come into town at exactly the time when these are supposed to get their CO or wrap up the construction. So I'm like, how can I hodgepodge this together and piece together kind of like the available room layouts that we have? And
that's pretty risky.
And I don't want to put them in the bigger ones where we could possibly get more money and a longer lease.
Yeah.
And so it's like this calculus you have to do with trying to slot these groups into one place and make it easy, but yet not cut your nose off to spite your face when it comes to the income. But this group itself represents $210,000 of income, right? So you could sign one thing, and the best thing is, the employer is the one signing the lease.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you still run background checks on the people, as does the employer. So you pass the employer first. You do a credit, credit and a background on them. Just make sure nothing shady's going on, fraud, whatever. And then once they pass, then you start the paperwork, but you have to do background checks on each of these individual people. But the challenge is they're all from different countries.
Yeah.
So you're not going to, so it's, it's at best, you're going to get what's out there, but I don't, who knows? But a lot of these it's kind of similar to, how Section 8 programs, a lot of people don't want to lose their voucher.
Yeah.
It's very similar to that, but even more so. So generally these are pretty decent people that come, because there's some students that come in, and then, there's just workers that do this every year.
And
it's really interesting. I've never had to deal with this whole group leasing type of situation. So we're having to really think about this.
So first off, it seems like a no-brainer to do it. And then second off, it is a shorter lease. So I'm guessing that you're charging a little bit more. Like, it's almost no different than a 12-month lease.
Yes, but not as much as you would think.
Okay.
These groups come in and they're like, this is our budget. Can you do it? But the problem is a lot of these housing places, they don't have 30, 40, 50, units that you can just take all at once. And it's not real convenient for the employer to line it up and then have to drive to 4 or 5 different properties just to pick up.
You have leverage.
Yes. And so so they came back around because they were like, no, we can only do $650 a month. And we're like, that doesn't work. That's not even close. So we have now arrived at more, clear pricing on where we can be. And I think it's going to be basically at market. But we're going to lose 2 months. So then we have to, we're figuring all those things out. And then this is the first year we've had leasing in it. So we're kind of trying to mix and match and play around with it a little bit. Maybe we offer more furnished units, and we do short-term rentals, midterm rentals. So we're looking at that as well. So offering furnishings, and so it's a lot. It's kind of fun learning all this. It's a little stressful when it's right at go time and you have to have all your stuff together before they get into town. You know what I mean?
Do you assign certain buildings to, like, maybe this is the short-term building?
Great question.
Midterm building over here, or whatever you're doing.
If the timing ends up working out on this, like I hope, we can wrap the 2 back buildings, and one of them is, I think, 32 units. Mm-hmm. And they could literally all go in right there. And it'd be more like a kind of a cooler, like if you have a whole bunch of people from the same place that are all coming and they're all in one building, it's a sense of community.
Also, no complaints.
Yeah. And a bus could pull right up outside the building. Everybody could load up. So it would work out perfect if we can get this pulled off.
Now, are you putting
timing? It's all about timing.
Are you putting more pressure on the builder to see, like, hey, we're like down to the day. Can you push this?
It doesn't work like that, because you have your cabinet guys, you have your finish carpentry, you have it's a waterfall. So there's nothing we can do.
I mean, it's so hard to say you're going to get that done on the day.
Yeah, I know. And then it's a complete wild card on when you can get the inspector there. Because what if something isn't quite right and you need to put a different type of sign up and stuff like that, and you have to have all the stuff on your building,
a different number,
exactly.
Missing a number on the door.
Yes. So exactly.
At least you're learning though from the previous ones.
But and then fire, like fire marshal is a very important person to be engaged with during most of this, because they need to know where each building is and how they're labeled. So the signage that you have to have up has to be a certain size so that it can be visible from the road. They have to know where the the fire hydrants are. So you have to have a map of the property. And it's very involved, like a big property like this, because it's 6 buildings, 2.5 acres. It's pretty spacious. So it's just there's a lot to it. It's stuff you wouldn't normally think about if you're just buying off the shelf, multifamily, and you're like, oh, what's the big deal? But when you're doing a redevelopment or a ground up like that, you got to put a lot of thought into stuff you never even considered.
Are you starting to put more eyes on potential properties like this?
No.
I mean, because
not at the time. I don't. It would be doing a disservice to this one for me to even take my eyes off of it and try to do another property like that. And it is so involved, the time that it takes to run and manage and think through and assemble, the herd of cats that you got involved with this. I definitely would not do it in a place 7 hours away where I have to drive.
I mean, this one's obviously going to be very lucrative for you because of your position in it and, what you guys got it for. But I mean, hindsight, is it worth all the time you put into it?
Fair question. I don't know yet. You ask me that tomorrow, it might be different than today.
You don't know yet.
Yeah, I don't know yet. Once we get it leased up and stabilized, I think I'll probably feel a whole different way about it. But right now, it's a huge pain in the ass. I mean, it's a lot of work and time and everything else, but it's like nothing worth doing is going to be like, oh, that was easy.
Totally.
So I'm keeping that in mind with this too. I've learned a ton, more than I've ever learned on any other project ever.
When it is fully rented and done, we'll have to have a debrief with both Foley's and you.
We'll do it on the way down, man. A little live episode, and we'll hang out at Crazy Craig's in Branson.
We'll just strap mics. We'll put our mics on the lapels and just talk on the way down.
Talk the way down, and that's generally what I do. So that's how they get all their stories out of me.
Axel is actually fixing my car wash right now, and last time I chatted with him about this, like, so I heard that you're gonna be coming down with us to Branson sometime soon. And I'm like, I don't usually say no when you guys have something for me to come and check out.
I will say this: when we go down there, it is very fast and furious. Like, we do not mess around with lollygagging and like spare time. It's like very planned out how we're doing. We're putting all the furniture together. We're doing this. We're meeting with this person, and like we're in and out. So, but I'm going to go down there. I think, I was just talking to my wife about this last night. I'm going to go down there and spend some time with our leasing manager, like a few days, just to make sure everything's on the same page, get some boots on the ground for myself with my own eyes. And so I can get a feel for what's going on there. You know what I mean? It's hard to do that when you're so far away, even if you have a trusted person there. Yeah. Like, I want to see it, so I think that's important with this. So I'm going to peace out here for a little bit, but I'll be back.
Yeah. Don't hurt yourself.
Oh man, I wish I'd be on workers' comp if I actually had an employer. But does REIA Radio have a workers' comp plan?
We're working on that, with our relaunch.
Right.
Season 2, maybe.
Okay.
We'll see what happens there.
Well, enough about me. You got anything cooking here other than?
Well, I mean, there's so many opportunities have been coming my way lately. Yeah. Like car wash opportunities, multiple car wash opportunities. A dry cleaner, not dry cleaner, but a laundromat opportunity has hit my plate off market.
Is it a good deal? Or hard to tell?
It's hard to tell. It's all there. It's ready to go. Only one in its market. Great building. I mean, the price is hard to say no to, but the equipment's old, and the guy retired, and it's been shut down for a year.
Oh, okay.
But do I want to do it? I don't know.
So when you're doing your due diligence, one thing I learned when I kind of went down a rabbit hole on laundromats is ask them for both sets of books.
Yeah,
because they're all the Kaasch.
But there's no
see a lot of those older
no books for a year.
Yeah, you see those older owners, and a lot of times they'll have the real books, and then
that's if they have books,
right?
Because like the car wash that I bought, the original owner of it had 0 books.
Yeah, and it's like they kind of do the 1 for you, 2 for me type thing when it comes to paying taxes.
That guy literally had. I don't even think he even documented any of the Kaasch. He built it himself, and it was all cash machines, no credit cards.
Yeah, it's definitely a high touch business, but you're finding that out with car washes too. It's
well, my first 2 months, I virtually did nothing.
I know. Yeah, that's why I said the honeymoon period's over.
Which was also the winter time when everything breaks. So really got blessed. Shout out to Guy Bailey for all the upgrades he did to prevent that. But in the last 2 weeks, it's been like ran over spray hose, ripped out of the ceiling, air mix clog on the foam brush. I showed up to check it out to get the money, and then all the floors were frozen over because the ground heating system got shut off somehow.
Oh no!
Which was not a big deal, but and then it's just been stupid crap like that.
Yeah,
and all it's easy. I've actually gotten and done some wrenching and replaced hoses myself. You'd be really proud.
Nice.
It's got a whole parts room, and here I am taking a part, and I'm like, where is that part?
Dude, you're so lucky you bought it from Guy, because like most people wouldn't be that detailed about how they get stuff organized and their security systems he's got and the automation.
The parts, all the parts. He's like, all the parts that are there, I didn't buy any of them.
Oh,
they're from the previous owner. You had to create a whole parts room, and they're all cataloged.
Oh, wow.
And then so every piece has like 10 parts.
Yeah.
He goes, honestly, there's so many parts, I didn't have to buy any parts.
Perfect.
And he had it for a couple of years. So I'll take that all day long.
Nice.
But to be honest with you, if I can get another one just like that, I'd jump all over it.
Oh, you know what? I almost forgot to bring up today's
Golden Nugget.
All right. So you and I talked about this yesterday briefly, but I have been getting hammered with phishing emails with the PH.
Oh, I got sunk on my first one. I am so good about that. I got one from a creditor I worked with. Clicked that shit because it was the creditor's name and everything on there.
Looked legit.
Yeah, totally legit. Verified the email, knew the name, and I'm like, great. My tax documents. I didn't mean to cut you off, but
no.
And I clicked on the file to open it, and I did my due diligence too. And then it's like, oh, for security, please go to it was like a next step.
Yep.
So I clicked that, and then it took me into a Microsoft account for me to input my information. I'm like, whoa, that makes zero sense to me. Backing off here right now.
Yep.
I hope I didn't go too far. And and I emailed the person. I'm like, hey, please tell me why I need to log into my Microsoft account to get my tax files from you.
Yeah.
And this person's like, it didn't even respond back to me. All of a sudden, mass email goes out.
Yeah. This, I'm sure, has definitely escalated, but with the Iran conflict that we're in right now,
that's all over the news.
Yeah, they're targeting a lot more, Americans specifically with hacking and phishing emails and spoofing your email address and sending it out to everybody in your contact list. They're getting very sophisticated. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sophisticated.
I'm glad there's a word you can't say.
Just be diligent about that. If you see something, say something, and especially if you have an IT support, that's what they're there for. You can call them and be like, I got this email. It's from somebody I know, and it seems legit. They can check it out and figure it out for you.
Do you know the number one spoof I get that has almost got me a couple times?
What?
Airbnb spoof.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I get a phone call and it comes in from Airbnb support, says Airbnb support on my caller ID, and it's their actual phone number.
Oh, wow.
So they've masked their phone number and their caller ID.
Yeah, they're very sophisticated now. I mean, it's this stuff is really hard to suss out.
So I answer it. The person talks to me like, hey, we're doing a security thing, or hey, there's an upgrade, or hey, there's an issue with your account. And it's always legit. Like, it's caught me like 4 or 5 times. And then like, okay, we're gonna send a message across real quick to verify that you're the user of this account. Please let us know what your ID is. And I'm like, whoa. Every time I'm like, send me a message on the account.
Yeah.
And,
right.
Yeah. Like, send me a message on the account. That's you. Well, sir, it's the phone number. And
and you see a lot of them from like Bank of America and like Chase and all these different banks. And I'm like, some of them I bank with. So you get those and they look the same as the ones you usually get. But would I tip, it'll be like, click here to see your monthly whatever, or click here to, this and that. But I never do that. I'll just say, okay, if that's true, I'm just going to go straight to the website and then log in that way and then see what messages I have or whatever. So just be on your guard. It's definitely ramped up. I mean, I'm getting probably 2 to 3 times more than I have been in recent months. So if you don't have an IT support person that kind of monitors this stuff, by the way, Norton Antivirus ain't going to cut it. Like, if you have that and you think you're good, you are not good at all. My guy basically laughed at me when I told him.
These aren't viruses. They're trying to get access to your accounts.
Yes, but Norton's supposed to be like this shield over, like all kinds of stuff, intercepting phishing emails and attempts and all that. But anyway,
if they have that somebody you know's actual email, it's already been accepted into your account.
Right. Yep. So word to the wise, just be careful out there, kids.
Scary shit.
Yep.
Oh. Well, before we sign off, I did get a 5-star review on Apple, and I did want to read it, and it's titled "Entertaining and Informative."
Ooh.
So thank you, Mom of 5,000.
Wow,
that's a lot of kids.
Yeah.
But love listening to these guys.
Marie Bartlett.
Maybe. I love listening to these guys. I'm not a real estate investor yet, but I'm learning along the way.
Awesome.
So thank you for that review, and thank you to the other 138 people that have given us a review.
Thank you very much, Mama of 5,000. That really warms our cockles.
Yes. And if you guys love what you hear, please share us with somebody that would love to listen to us.
Yes.
That sounds terrible.
Well said.
Where do you go?
The best favor you can do us is to share us with a friend.
Yes. And with that, Owen Dashner, will you see us out?
On behalf of REIA Radio, Aiden Bear, and Ted Kaasch, I'm Owen Dashner. You've been listening to the
Real Estate Rundown. Signing off.